let's go to Lily in Dallas, who listens on Instagram, and she has a radical acceptance question. Love that phrase. How do I embrace radical acceptance of who I am? I'm often present only certain parts of myself. I often present only certain parts of myself to the world, and I would like to live more fully and openly. Great question. Lily, talk to me.
I guess there's just been some pretty severe trauma in my childhood, and then in my early or late teens and early 20s. And I think I've always been very aggressive towards, ever since I got out on my own, towards healing and,
Good for you.
doing the hard work of
Good
all
for
of that.
you.
Thank you. And so I've compartmentalized my life a bit in that I've taken all of those things and privately done the work. And, I brought, a couple friends and mentors and different, counselors, different ones into it. But for the most part, have kept that part of my life separate and kind of hidden and compartmentalized and tucked away. And like when I dealt with it, then I tucked it away and tried to become who I wanted to be and what I wanted my life
Now,
to
wait a minute.
reflect.
Hold on. When you dealt with it, you've tucked it away. Help me understand that.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, when something is dealt with, it doesn't get tucked away. It dissipates in terms of its power, and it's easily accessible if we choose to or not. Just sort of this kind of like, yeah, I had this happen to me, but I moved on past that. It's not like it's tucked away and hidden when it's been quote dealt with. So help me understand that sentence.
So I've, done the counseling and anything that comes up, I then take that and whatever. And I think the overriding thing that I'm dealing with right now is this sense of shame that's attached to identity.
Tell me your question. It sounds like you're still in the process of working through a lot of it.
How do I accept the life that I've had in the past that came through trauma and being who I am today? Like I hide all of that from people. I hide the family I grew
wait a
up
minute.
in.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. It seems like you're equating acceptance with revealing.
Maybe, yeah.
I
But
would
I
get
just
rid
feel
of
like
that
I'm on the run.
I'd get rid of that formula.
Okay.
Acceptance has a lot of different meanings, and this may be kind of what really helps here. Lily, acceptance begins, the most foundational psychological meaning of acceptance is that we agree with something as being true. Okay? It's like when people go through grief, there's a protest phase of grief. You watch somebody, if you just watch a TV show and somebody's in ICU and they goes flatline and the doctor comes out and shakes his head and says, we couldn't save him. The spouse or the family member, initially you're going to see a no, and they scream no. That's the protest part of the grief cycle. But then as they work through that anger, and as you said, resolve things, they get to a phase that historically, now these don't always work in a linear fashion, but they get to a phase of what we call acceptance. They have now accepted he really is dead. Okay? So that's the first thing. And that's the doorway that actually allows us, which you have done. You have accepted this is true. You have been abused in some ways. And that's a beautiful thing that you have done. Now, once you've done that, you can open up the door to inviting people into that world who are safe and revealing that and provide healing, right? Now, the second aspect of acceptance is when people say, well, that's unacceptable. Well, that's cool if what you mean by that is you're going to set boundaries. And I want you have accepted the reality of what happened to you, but now you've got a new phase in your life where That's unacceptable to be treated that way. And I'm no longer going to accept that into my life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And those are two different forms of acceptance. Now, what you seem
Mm-hmm.
to be asking about is if I've accepted it and I'm dealing with it, then why don't I share it with everybody? Right?
Why do I feel so much shame? I feel like I'm trying to outrun
Well, then
who I.
that's why I said the initial thing about when you said you've worked through it. I don't think it's fully healed yet.
Yeah.
So you can have
Okay.
an absence of shame. Don't equate an absence of shame with wanting to let everybody see it, because not everybody is safe. Jesus was not ashamed of himself,
Mm-hmm.
but he did say there are some people he wouldn't reveal this to because he knew what was in their hearts. So you
Mm-hmm.
may be doing a very good determination of looking at the world. Not everybody's safe. And so
Yeah.
it may be very wise of you to not share this with certain people, but share it
Yeah.
with others.
Okay.
And what's going to overcome the shame is not that you share it with the world, but that you have enough people that are good that can love you in it, that you can share it
Mm-hmm.
with them to heal it. Does that help?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Okay. I wish I could talk more. I got to run today. We're up against the clock. But I'm going to gift you. I have a webinar called Healing Our Brokenness or Restoring Our Brokenness. And it's going to go a lot into a lot of things that get into what we were just talking about. It's like I said, 2.5 hour. You don't have to watch it all at once. You don't have to watch it at all if you don't want to. But
I definitely will
if
watch it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
it's helpful to you, and God bless you for your courage and continue on this path, and let others. And I'm going to say one more thing: acceptance, self-acceptance. What's happened to you is always the fruit of other acceptance. So we
Okay.
learn to accept ourselves because we've been accepted by others. So that's why I want you to have a very small, close-knit circle where people can know what's happened to you, and their acceptance of you is going to diminish the shame. That'll
Okay.
go away to the degree that you feel the acceptance from them. And it's interesting that abuse victims, by and large, feel ashamed, which is a
Okay.
funny trick the mind plays on us because it wasn't your
Yeah.
fault, but it makes you feel
Yeah.
damaged and it makes you feel inferior and all this kind of stuff. And then when you share it with people who have empathy for you, the shame gets replaced by empathy. And that's how the shame
Mm.
diminishes.